This is Brian's Tech Tips. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. Today's episode is Battle of the Fans. We have Spal, which is a house favorite, something you just really cannot go wrong with, and Maradyne. I'm going to say this was on my car for about 2 years. Works perfectly, cannot complain. I am doing a bit of a cooling system upgrade, and everyone's favorite seems to be Spal. So I wanted to just kind of see how good my fan was doing compared to Spal. Now, noticeable differences: this motor is much smaller, which will give you more clearance if you need it. These are 12-inch fans. The Maradyne is noticeably heavier. The construction between the two seem very similar, but the motor is much larger. We're going to be doing a free air test, which means there will be no obstructions in front of the fans. And then we are going to be doing a radiator test, which is the most important test because, well, your radiator fans go on your radiator. So what really matters is how much air can get through your radiator to cool your engine down. All right. So our first test is just going to be the open air test. No restrictions in front of the fan. We're going to see how many CFM it'll blow, and then we're going to see how many miles an hour. All right, first up is Maradyne. So next up on this test is Spal. Again, this is just an open air test. We're just going to see how much air it can move with no obstructions in the way. All right, first test we have is seeing how much air we can move through the radiator. First thing we're going to do is Maradyne. This is the most important test because your radiator fan is going to stay on your radiator. That's really all that matters is how much air it can move through a radiator. So first competitor, Maradyne. So it looks like Spal won the open air test, and for the radiator, Maradyne won. To be completely honest, the radiator test is the most important, just because your fan goes on your radiator and you want it moving maximum air as much as humanly possible. That being said, you cannot go wrong with either one of these fans. Maradyne advertises their CFM at about, I think it was 1500. Well, that number's over 1500 because you multiply it times 10, is moving roughly 2000 CFM. And Spal, same thing. They were advertising theirs at 1226 CFM. They did 1770 CFM. Honestly, you just can't go wrong with either one of these. Some of it's going to be limited to your clearance. If you have clearance issues and your engine's really far forward, I'd get the Spal. If I had a larger engine bay, plenty of room up front, I'm going to get the Maradyne just for the bigger motor. This thing has been in my car at least 2 years, no problems whatsoever. I'm doing a little bit of a cooling system upgrade. Everyone says Spal is the best. I got some. I'm not disappointed with them at all. I actually am more surprised that Maradyne did so good. Now, I just want to talk about wiring a little bit. Fans are high amperage items. Wiring is super important. I would use a minimum of 12 gauge wiring on these fans. Minimum. That being said, the second most important part is the crimp. For this, you want, the perfect crimp. You want to be able to tug on it and it doesn't move, doesn't come out. Now, the connectors that I use, they are on Amazon. It comes with, it's called Jadco. I've used all of the connectors mostly. Comes with the connectors, comes with the crimper. They make awesome crimps, perfect. They do 10 and 12 gauge. I would personally do probably a 10 gauge wire. Honestly, you cannot go too big with wiring on a fan. Now, a weak crimp will give you a weak connection, which causes heat, which can burn your connector. It can burn, worst case scenario, you can burn your car to the ground. So a little thing I do extra, just to make sure that it has the best connection humanly possible. I'm going to show you on this fan. I add a little bit of solder, just to know that this has the best connection humanly possible. Now, these connectors are also waterproof. That's what these little blue things are for. Awesome connectors. Pretty easy to find anywhere. Napa usually has them. Or if you order them on Napa online, they have them next day. But seriously, when it comes to wiring, do it right. Use a relay. Follow the instructions. Use big wires. 10 gauge preferably. 10 to 12. If you get bigger fans, more powerful fans, even bigger wires. You really cannot hurt with big enough wires. You don't want to melt connectors. You want a reliable ride. Wiring gives you reliability. That's why I add just a little bit of solder. I know that's a good connection and it gives me peace of mind. Well, this was Brian's Tech Tips, Battle of the Fans. Hope you guys enjoyed.